AK Shine, I ain't gonna lie to you, sir. You willing to drop that URL flag? Cool, ain't got no problem with that. You ready to denounce the URL? Cool, I ain't got no problem with that. But let me tell you how me and you are alike. You want more money at your job? So do I. You want more opportunity at your job? So do I. You sound like every other American with a job. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? This is Temperature Check. I am your host as always, man. Mr. Check the Temperature. How y'all doing? And I wouldn't be who I am if I ain't do what I do. So make sure that you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, whether you be a brand new or day one. You already know how it go. And if you want some of that Temperature Check apparel, man, t-shirts, it's $15 right now, plus the shipping, man. So shout out 15 Minutes of Fame. Shout out Uncle Ra. Shout out K-Shine. I'm glad you finally getting your side out to the public. Because for months, we've been wondering, where is K-Shine? Waka wondering, where is K-Shine? Mano wondering, where is K-Shine? Battle rap community wondering, where is K-Shine? Why is he not battling? So shout out Uncle Ra for the interview. In the interview, you let the people know a couple things. It's not just about this last battle you supposed to have with Jack Boy. This is a culmination of feelings, of emotions that have piled up over the years. And we all get that. In relationships, everything ain't gonna be peaches and cream. Sometimes you're gonna have your good days and you damn sure gonna have your bad days. Trust me, I know. But you saying, I'm a superstar. Treat me like a superstar. You saying, you see my work. You see my worth. I can go anywhere to any other platform and do 1 million views. I am a 1 million view battler. All of that is true. But the one question that hasn't been asked, and that wasn't asked, at least in that interview, are you currently under a URL contract? Because again, now I get it. You saying they didn't have your flight book? That's crazy. That's crazy. How you not gonna have K-Shine flight book? He's supposed to be battling Jack Boy in New York. Then you want to be on the phone with him trying to book the flight, and then when you get the flight book, you're sending him to Wisconsin. What was you sending him to Wisconsin for? Did you want to have a stop off in Green Bay, get you some cheese, and bring it to New York? So I get it. You feeling mistreated. You feeling undervalued. You feeling like they aren't paying your worth. They're not paying to keep the exclusivity rights to K-Shine. And I get that. But at the end of the day, sir, in every other job, we want more money. At the end of the day, sir, in every other job, we want more opportunity. It don't matter if you a custodian. It don't matter if you a doctor. It don't matter if you a lawyer, a teacher. We want more. We always will. We always gonna want more money. We always gonna want more opportunity. Once you get to 100, what you want? You want 125. Once you get to 125, you want 150. Once you get to 150, oh, I need 200,000. That's how I think. That's how you think. That's how everyone else in the world thinks. We will never be paid our true value. We will never be paid what we feel we are worth unless we are paying ourselves. And even with that, sometimes if you pay your actual worth, it can put your business in bankruptcy. Let's be honest. If Jay-Z paid his actual worth when they started Rockefeller, it would have went bankrupt. You, sir, are a disgruntled employee. It's not uncommon. It's not uncommon to be a disgruntled employee. We understand that relationships at times, they not always smooth sailing. You got some rocky moments. You got some toxic moments in your relationships. Shout out Froze, man. Shout out Frozone. Rosenberg's Raw channel, man. I was watching his take on this, and he said, he made the comparison of battle rap and sports. And he was like, well, you know, when athletes are disgruntled, when they feel like they've outperformed their contract, they're allowed to sit out. You're right. But that is also an incomplete statement. Take Chris Jones of the Kansas City Chiefs, one of the best defensive players in the National Football League. What is he currently doing right now? He's sitting out. Why? Because he feels like he's outplayed his current contract. Cool. So what did he say he's willing to do? He's willing to sit out 8 games. He's willing to miss out on practice checks, willing to miss out on game checks, all the way up until week 8 to when he has to show up. He has to play, because if he doesn't play, this year doesn't count. And guess what? He'll still be under that contract next year. This very same contract he's trying to get out of, if he doesn't perform after week 8, the year doesn't count. And then he's right back to the same position that he was in now. That's how these NFL contracts work. So you can sit out. Look at James Harden. He's demanding out of Philly. Ho, ho, ho. You got some years left, my boy. Now you can sit out. You know, NBA is a little bit more, it's a little bit different. The players got a little bit more leverage than they do in the NFL. But you see what you got to do. You got to sit out. You got to be willing to sacrifice financially. Kayshawn, we've seen that you've been willing to sacrifice financially, because you saying no matter whether I pick up this ball on the URL, on RBE, on Chrome 23, on GTX, and KOTD, it don't matter. I am a million view battler. I am a walking million view battler. All of that is true, sir. All of that is true. But I got to ask one question. Are you still under contract with the URL? Now, I know you feel that you are underpaid. You feel undervalued. I'm not saying you ain't none of that. I can't tell you another man how much he should value himself. But my question is simply this. Was there a clause in your contract that said, if the battle does not go down, if the battle does not happen, if the event is somehow canceled by natural causes or otherwise, that means that you don't have to do the battle anymore? Or does it say that you still owe that battle? Does it say you still owe that battle? Now, I know you saying if they want you to do the battle to pay you again for the battle. Again, do I feel like they should have to pay you again for that battle? I mean, if I was them, if I was the league owner, I'm not paying you twice. Why would I pay you twice? And if I did pay you a second time for this battle, it's not going to be the same amount, because I already gave you a front half, and I got to believe, Kayshawn, you got your second half. So why would I pay you a second time for this battle? So is it the battler or is it the contract? That's another thing. Do you not like the battle with you and Jack Boy? Because let's make no mistake about it. At that point in time, that battle had intrigue because Jack was arguably one of the best performers in battle rap at that point in time. Let's make no mistake about it. He was on a run. He was wilding up until that point. He was. So that's why that battle made sense at that time. At this point in time, it don't make no sense. The battle is a dub because there's no energy around it, and all the energy around it is negative. All the energy around the Kayshawn Jack Boy battle is negative. The people are saying they don't want to see the battle. Kayshawn saying he don't want to do the battle. I gotta believe Jack Boy at this point don't want to do this battle. So, Kayshawn, again, we hear you. We with you. We want to see you on stage. We want to see you battling. We want to see you rocking them stages, doing what you doing, having people spill that Hennessy White on the next man just because they reacting off something that you just said. A haymaker that just lifted the room. We want all that. Pause if necessary. But the business is still the business. But I get it. Like you said, when you first met them, you was just trying to find a way out. When you first met Smack and Beasley and they was getting this thing started called the URL, you was just looking for a way out of the life you were living, whatever you were doing. You saw rapping, you saw battling as a way out. You saw battling as a way to uplift your brand. You were able to do that to an extent. And that's the business model that the URL has. Nobody's bigger than the URL. That's how they carry it. Nobody's bigger than the brand. You know that. That's how they carry it. You know who you was remind me a lot of? And it's crazy I'm making this comparison, but I think I think I'm a comparable person to make this comparison, because I've seen the career of Terrence Bud Crawford, and I've seen the career the last few years since I've been in battle rap with K-Shine. You sound a lot like Bud Crawford when he was talking about his relationship with Bob Aarons. If y'all don't know who Bob Aarons is, he's one of the biggest boxing promoters that this boxing culture has ever seen. But in the same breath, he takes advantage of his talent. He gives them just enough to keep them afloat, and he keeps a lot of that money. So again, Bud didn't necessarily care about the business when he first got into boxing. He just wanted to box. You didn't care about the business when you first got into battle rap. You just wanted to battle. But obviously, over time, as your brands begin to elevate, as your profile begins to raise, you start thinking more business-minded, more business savvy, and you start asking more business-centered questions. And when you do that, just like Bud said, when he started doing that, that's when it became a problem. When you start asking, what's the promotional rollout for that? Or what's the percentages? How we cutting this up? What's the revenue made? Or I see y'all just did that deal. I see y'all did that deal, but I'm looking at my check and how are you making that much money, but I'm battling? How are you making this much money, but I'm boxing? You see how those two are very parallel to each other? So I get it. I already know how it happened. They took advantage of a young K-Shine. They took advantage of somebody who just wanted to elevate their brand and just wanted to battle rap. But now they dealing with K-Shine, the businessman. Now they dealing with K-Shine, the grown man. And that's a different ball game. That's why you say y'all got to learn each other again. Y'all got to sit down. Y'all got to be a meeting of the minds. You willing to admit where you was wrong at, but you saying the URL is not willing to admit where they were wrong at in the relationship. Because if they admit if they was wrong with you, they got to admit that they was wrong with a lot of other battlers, my brother. So you willing to drop the URL flag? And if I'm the URL, I'm sending a cease and desist to every league in the battle rap community. I ain't gonna lie to you. RBE, Chrome 23, KOTD, GTX, Bullpen, Battle Academy, The Riot, Black Ice Cartel, TOS Battle League, Gates of the Garden, Houston Barcode. We can keep going with the... If I'm the URL, that's what I'm doing, because I got to protect my investment, and my investment is K-Shine. Whether K-Shine wants it or not. Again, look at Chris Jones, one of the best defensive players in the National Football League. He's holding out and saying he's willing to forego game checks, practice checks, up until week 8 when he know he has to report. Because if he doesn't report, this clock then resets and he's in the same position that he's in right now, seeking a new contract, feeling as if he's outperformed his current contract. K-Shine, I'm not saying you right. I'm not saying you wrong. I'm just asking a question. A question that hasn't been asked, at least not lately. Are you still under contract with the URL? Man, make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel, man. Let me know y'all thoughts and opinions on this. Again, do I feel like K-Shine is one of the bigger entities in battle rap? Of course. Should he be treated like a superstar? Of course. But just because you want more money, just because you are disgruntled, doesn't mean you're going to get more money. Doesn't mean you get those opportunities. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and you know the motto, I ain't just getting started. I've been here.